Well, what is up, everyone? We are live again, 2 nights in a row with a Star Wars Marvel purist and myself. We are live tonight to break down and review Thunderbolts, which I just watched earlier today. And FYI, chat, I'm going to say it right away, right at the very beginning of the stream. We are going to be spoiling the absolute shit out of this. So if you care about spoilers and don't want to be spoiled, this is your one and only warning, because we are going to be spoiling the shit out of this. Star Wars Marvel purist, sir, how are you this evening?
Doing good, doing good. I mean, technically, you spoiled the shit out of the end credit scene already in the thumbnail, but that's all right. Who
Yeah,
gives a
well,
shit? That's the only
that
thing to
was
talk about.
everyone's warning right there. That was everyone's warning right there in the thumbnail. I figured I'd spoil this and Fantastic Four in the thumbnail,
Yep,
right?
not a bad
I'm just
idea. I mean,
waiting
they
for
kind of
I'm
did it to
waiting for
themselves.
I'm going to keep an eye on the chat for some idiot to come in here and be like, "I haven't seen the movie yet and your thumbnail spoiled." Oh, I'm just waiting for that idiot to come in here.
Oh, they'll be here. They'll be here. Yeah, but I mean, they
Absolutely. I
spoiled
did it
their own
on purpose.
movie, right? I mean, they technically
Yeah,
spoiled their own movie.
that was really weird. We'll get to the post-credit scene. Absolutely. But what did you think of the movie overall?
I thought it actually had some good elements that it didn't really follow through with or anything, and they mixed in the dumb Marvel humor, the girl boss shit, all the normal MCU bullshit. And then I think kind of like everything now, like the TVA and Deadpool and Wolverine, and then all the stuff with Captain Falcon, it's kind of being hampered down by the connected universe at this point. Like it's really just
Mhm.
all the bad shit they've done, they can't escape now. So, but they had some good shit, but then it all kind of fell flat. It's kind of like Andor tries to set shit up. We just reviewed that shit yesterday, and then there's no
Uh-huh.
payoff. So it's like, what's the fucking point? So
It wasn't Andor level boring. I was able to get through
yeah,
this in one sitting.
I predicted that.
I did kind of nod off a little bit in the middle.
So did I. Yep.
It started off a little bit strong for me, ironically, just because of the Taskmaster shit. I
Yes.
was like, so Mark, they got a little bit of a golf clap from me. For once they listened to the fans, and Taskmaster, we're gonna get into it, but Taskmaster, what they did with Taskmaster was freaking hilarious. I can't wait to watch these spoiler reviews from the shills and see who's crying about what they did to Taskmaster. I can't wait. It's going to be pretty funny.
Oh, the fake
I know
reactions are locked and
Chlamydia
loaded.
Burns, because remember, Chlamydia Burns in the video I did the other day before she saw the movie was like, just make Taskmaster a good character. Why not you? Who cares if she's a woman? Just write her to be good and people will like her. I like Taskmaster in this movie. I'll say it. I liked her in this movie.
It's a good character now. The thing is, in the comics, like Taskmaster really is a cool character before they destroyed him,
Yeah,
So,
him. Yes.
and that's the thing with all of the characters in this. Like, I am not a big Sentry. Everyone loves Sentry and all that shit. I don't like the character. I read the Marvel Knights, like the original storyline and all that. It was very exposition, mystery, a one-time read. It's not something you go back and reread. Although I did kind of skim through it before we jumped on. But yeah, but I liked US Agent back in the day, like late 80s Captain America comics. When John Walker was Captain America for about 2 years. That was a cool run. So there's certain, and the best part of that hideous, I think Winter Soldier Falcon show is probably the worst out of all of them, probably even worse than She-Hulk. With all the racism shit they had in it, but he was the best part of that, right? Like him and Baron Zemo.
I'll be honest, I thought he was better in that than he was in this.
Yeah, well, they definitely cuck him out in this one a little bit.
Yeah, he's like the butt of every joke. At least he had some edge in that show. Like I would, that might be a hot take, chat. But I thought John Walker, yes, was better in Falcon and the Winter Soldier than he was in this, to be honest.
Yeah, well, they tried to portray him as a villain in that, not knowing they were making him seem like the based one out of all the characters. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just fucking, it's a character that you can like, right? And then even Yelena Belova in the comics, like the Marvel Knights, those were the more mature comics in the late 90s, early 2000s in the Max line. She had really good stories that she was in too, but it's, again, none of this compares to like the actual source material. Yep,
So
exactly.
so my overall thoughts, like it was very mid, probably mid, like leaning bad for me. Like I'd say I'm torn between a 4 and a 5 out
That's
of
kind of where
10.
I am.
It's like a D plus to me. It's like it reminds me, it's one of those movies that's kind of like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Ant-Man 2, Thor the Dark World, Iron Man 2, kind of one of these, Iron Man 2, just one of these ones that I'm probably never going to watch or think about ever again. I watched it once. It's not the worst thing in the world. It's not, the Marvels, Captain Falcon, Brave New World, She-Hulk, Falcon and the Winter Soldier bad, but it's just like, yeah, it's just one of those mid to like lower mid level ones that I'm probably never going to watch ever again, and doesn't really impact. The only impact it has going forward is that some of these characters are going to appear in Doomsday.
Yep.
And like everything else, who cares? I don't see the
Exactly.
appeal. I don't see. I've been listening. I'm listening to the shills all weekend, sing the praises of Yelena. I didn't see it in this. I thought that. What's the actress's name?
Florence Pugh.
Florence Pew 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 Pew. Right, Grace Randolph. Florence Pew 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 Pew. She really seemed like she kind of was like phoning this in a little bit to me. Like she wasn't giving it her all. She's like, "Yep, I got my getting the paycheck. I'm better than this." I really got that aspect to her. Bucky has no arc or really anything in this movie. He's just there as a supporting character.
He was the jangling keys for the trailer.
Yes, he was there. He's there to get more people. I think he went to this movie, and that's the whole reason I think he's in this movie, just to bring in a few extra people. Red Guardian, just like if you talk loudly, it's supposed to be funny. None of the humor with him landed for me at all. Ghost, I'll say that I think Ghost is probably my favorite character of the movie, simply for what she did to Taskmaster.
Yeah.
And so I'll give her that. Yeah, Walker is like the butt of every joke. He's just about almost every scene they're making fun of him, or he's looking like an idiot. And I miss anyone? Sentry.
Oh yeah, you missed fucking Elaine from Seinfeld, Madam Hydra.
Oh yes, yeah, Elaine. Yeah, she's kind of just there too, just flip-flopping motivation and everything. And then I guess we'll get into the spoilers right now. The asterisk chat. The asterisk is for, and I rolled my eyes and almost fell over when they said, I knew it was coming.
I already
But
knew what
like
it
I
was.
was
Yeah.
holding, yeah, I knew it was coming, but like hearing them say it and the way they did it was retarded as hell. The asterisk is for the new Avengers. These are the new Avengers. And I was just like, Jesus Christ. So Doomsday is going to bomb. That was the first thing that came into my mind. Doomsday is going to bomb.
Yep. Yep.
That was the first thing that came to mind when I heard that. And it was very cringe the way that they did it. They basically just said that, then ended the movie.
Yeah, it was the flattest ending like ever, followed by the longest post-credit scene ever. It was a weird combination of a way to fuck up the ending of the movie. It was very insane. So, yeah, I mean, I guess, so I would say, yeah, Yelena Belova, I kind of feel like she phoned it in. Like I said, in the comics, she's way better. She's also like femme fatale, sexy and shit like that, which we're not getting from Florence Pugh. And then we have, again, U.S. Agent, I think was cool in the comics. In this, again, like you said, he's the butt of the joke. He's much better in the Winter Soldier. Bucky is obviously the character people probably like the most, but of course, we're not going to have him really do shit. Red Guardian broke my fucking streak because I said, find me one scene that Red Guardian isn't a juggling clown, and damn it, they made one scene where he actually acted like a dad to fucking Yelena Belova and didn't crack a fucking joke. I about fell out of my chair because literally, if you go back to the Black Widow movie, every single scene he's in is a joke. Every single fucking one.
And
so
it mostly is here too. And it's just, yeah.
Yes, except
people
for that
are,
one.
like, all I hear is that like the humor hits, everything hits. Like people are saying that this is the best Marvel movie post Endgame. This is better than Spider-Man No Way Home. It's better than Deadpool and Wolverine. It's better than Guardians 3. It's not even. I don't know where they are getting that from.
Yeah, and you mentioned like Thor: Dark World and Iron Man 2. I would put them way above this movie. Iron Man 3 and Captain Marvel come close to.
I would too. I mean that in the sense like it's one of those ones that I just watch and I have no desire to watch again. And that was like Thor: The Dark World for me, Iron Man 2 and the Iron Man 3 too. I've never watched that one. I would say that's better than this. But yeah. It's one of those ones like I watched it once and I just had no desire to go back to it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely better than Captain Falcon, right? But they could have done things like they could have made the Sentry shit permanent. That would have added more stakes, right? Mm-hmm. They could have had him wipe out what I wanted. The same thing with Deadpool. I wanted Deadpool kills the MCU. They could have had him wipe the whole Thunderbolts team out, maybe minus Bucky and US Agent. That would have been fucking great. That didn't happen. And they could have, if they just pulled the jokes, I think it would have made the movie a lot better. If they would have just pulled all the jokes out, just made it dark, like they were trying to pretend it was going to be, it probably would have been a lot better of a movie.
Yeah, and like
the fight scene sucked.
And it's in the
except
title.
The Sentry one.
It's in the title of the video or of the stream, a Marvel therapy session. So like I was sitting through the movie and I'm like, okay, like they're having their flashbacks and stuff. And I'm like, where's everyone getting the mental health and the emotion and the therapy? And then like the final fight happens. And then I'm like, oh, here it is. It's literally chat, a fucking therapy session.
Yep.
Everybody just sits in a circle and they all tell each other how great everybody is. And you got to fight your inner darkness. And then, oh, no, you don't want to fight your inner darkness. And then the heroes win.
Yeah. Well, I re-skimmed through my Sentry Marvel Knights comics before the stream. And I got to tell you, man, the comic was kind of boring like this too, but it had more interesting shit. You had Mr. Fantastic. Basically, they mind wipe. Doctor Strange does a spell, so everybody fucking forgets who Sentry is, including Sentry and all that, including himself. And they have all these fail-safes and precautions to keep him from ever coming back because Sentry is the Void, right? And that's the whole thing. But that's all that comic is. So it's this mind bend, like what's the secret about Sentry? And even in that comic, there's not a whole lot of action that happens.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff's later on, in the newer age Marvel shit that I just really don't like a lot of it. But yeah, so it's kind of akin to that, but they could have made it more interesting like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just fucking whatever, man. Like, I don't know. Again, the action scenes, some of the Sentry shit they did was cool, right? When he kicks all their asses. That was fine. The beginning scene with Yelena kicking everyone's ass, that was fucking trying to be like John Wick 4 or something with the aerial shot.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was trash. Some of the stuff, John Walker does actually beat down most of the females, which is realistic. He is a super soldier when he's fighting all of them. And then Ghost does her thing. So, and Ghost didn't talk a whole lot either. That probably made her character a little better.
She had a lot of
one-liners and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you want to get the all right, we're going to do the click through chat. So, once again, if you don't want to see any of this is your warning. We're going to click through we got our Captain Jack Sparrow copy of the movie ready to go. It was pretty funny because it was breaking into these advertisements partway through. I was like, what the fuck is this? While you're getting that ready, I'll
say 4.5 for me, I guess. You're going to give it a 4? I'm just keeping track because I know we did in the last one too.
I can't even give it a number. I'm feeling D+. I'm just going to say D+. That's what I'm going to give it. And before we get going, let me get to these super chats real quick. Saint CP for $5, celebrating that fake Taskmaster is dead and gone. Yeah, we're gonna get into that in the early part. It's freaking hilarious. It really was. Like I was like, oh, okay, that put me in a little bit of a good place for the movie. If the movie would have ended there, I probably would have given it maybe a 7 out of 10.
Right.
It would have just ended right there. Thank you, Saint CP, for the 5. Peter Rackus for 5. Mr. Grizzy, you have to watch Sammy J reacts out of theater reaction to Thunderbolts. I started watching that. It's on the list. Like I said, it's on the list. I started watching it, and then I got to get to his spoiler part of it. You're talking about his main video, right? Because I do have that saved, and I watched the beginning of it, and I did not quite finish it yet, but it is on the list, and I have looked into it. Check the comments too. Okay, I will be sure to do that. Peter Rack is roasting the shills in the comments. Great to see. And Saint CP for 5. Why would I take half a salary from before? Am I half a man because I got ran over?
Do you know what that is?
No.
Jeremy Renner, because they offered him half the salary to do Hawkeye season 2. And he literally says that on a fucking interview.
Oh, he said that on Joe Rogan?
I don't think it wasn't Joe Rogan. It was like somebody else.
Joe Rogan. He got interviewed by Joe Rogan.
Oh, did he really? Yeah, he didn't. I saw one. It was a different clip where he had been interviewed for something else, I think. But yeah, he basically joked about it like, fuck you guys. So good for him, man.
So he basically told them to fuck off.
Pretty much, yeah.
Good shit. Good
so.
for him. Good for him. Yeah, good shit. Good
stuff.
Shit. Yeah, that's fucked up. Yeah, they wanted him to do Hawkeye season 2, and they were going to offer him half the set. Well, probably because they were going to go full MCU in the show.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, he's the jangling keys they need though to get the audience.
They need him to get people to tune in. Yeah.
Agreed, Gray Sky. Dead since Endgame. I agree with that. And I don't even. Endgame was very member-berry nostalgia, but now obviously it did awesome, cool comic book shit in it, but that movie's got a lot of problems. If you play Infinity War and that back-to-back, you'll see the transformation into the MCU, like right in front of your fucking
Oh, yes.
The Captain Marvel takes all the Thor scenes in Endgame that Thor would have had, like he had in Infinity War and all that, so.
Oh, yes. I do think it's funny, like, they fucking, like, after Captain Marvel came out, like they fucking like took Brie Larson. Like I think, yeah, they put her in the beginning and then she fucked off and then she came back at the end. Like I don't know. I think she was probably supposed to be there the entire time. They must have replaced her with like Nebula or something.
Oh, for sure. And they're idiots because they had like Chris Hemsworth, big buff young dude playing Thor, who's a god. They could have had him transition like into all these phases, and they wanted to go quote unquote cosmic. And Thor's like, even like Sentry, right? Everyone's like, oh, Sentry. Thor's whooped Sentry's ass. Thor's beat Galactus, Mephisto. Like he's up there with Thanos. So they totally fucked all that to do Jane Foster Thor. So they deserve everything they get.
Yep.
All right. So let's go ahead and boom. We gotta get through some of these.
These are our wonderful advertisements.
Another great thing, an hour and 55 without the credits. And plus we have these ads. So it's like an hour and 45-minute movie. That's probably another top feature.
Yeah.
Didn't have to slog through it for too long.
Yeah. So the chat real quick, the quality is not going to be fantastic. There's going to be whatever that language is, subtitles over it. So, but you get the gist of what's going on.
I think I got this off the Theory Sabers website. I'm not sure. But, all right. Let's see.
Same company.
Yeah, so she's like talking about her life and how she's
real quick.
Unhappy.
Real quick, they had a new intro cinematic for this. New Marvel intro cinematic. The da 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 da, right? They did a whole new one for this. I don't think they caught it in this. I didn't see it, but one of the it was it Eric Voss who said it? No, it was Soups. That's right. Soups was the one. We talked about it on Wednesday. He said, like, yeah, they did the new intro cinematic, and I knew from that moment that this movie was going to be peak.
Well, what they did was the void shit going over the Marvel symbol, right?
Like, okay. Yeah, it's hard to see. Hard to see with all these, all these, like,
yeah. But
ads
that's
on
why
and
it kind of
everything.
and it like fades to black
Yeah.
type shit over
Okay.
it. So that's
Okay.
supposed to
Go ahead.
represent the void. Yeah. So she's like contemplating and her depression, and she doesn't have anyone. Now her sister's gone. Da 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 da. Da. I could be having some of this out of order, but that's basically what we're getting. And then we have like a Dark Knight scene or something, right? Where she jumps off the building like
Mhm.
Batman and
You know,
fucking.
there's a couple Dark Knight scenes in this movie. The fucking we'll get to it, but yeah, there's another one. I literally wrote that in my notes for a future one. And
Right.
you probably know what it is. But anyway, so yeah, she's narrating. She has no purpose. And there's still okay. Okay, yeah. She jumps off the building.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
looks like the subtitles may kind of go and coincide with the buildings. You know, I'm sure this could be
Yeah.
near the Uger camps. I'm not sure. Oh, look, the
And
building even looks the same as the one
it
in
does,
Batman,
doesn't
right?
it? Um, Yeah, and by the way, Chad, she is the star of this movie. It's not even really a team. The team is like a backdrop to Yelena. This is Yelena's
It's Yelena
movie.
and Bob, the Yelena and Bob show, right?
Yes, it pretty much is them. Yes.
And she's the therapist, even though
Yeah.
she's fucked. It's kind of like if you go to a therapist, right? They're more fucked up than you are, but you know, you go for some reason. That's what we're getting here. So she's the fucked up therapist giving him therapy when she's probably more fucked up than he is. Okay, so she just comes in and just whoops everybody's ass. I did notice, I don't know if you noticed, they do lots of camera. Look at the camera angles, right? They're very low to the ground, kind of like the Tom Cruise effect. Because I think
Mhm.
she's like 5'2" or 5'3". So they do lots of this, and then this is the John Wick scene from the aerial view, like they
Yep.
did in John Wick 4. She fucks everybody. Now, nobody fires one shot at her while this is going on. I mean, they could have made it more realistic. I think with the Black Widow scenes in Iron Man 2, a lot of it, you see them all fucked up after the fact. But you hear
Mhm.
like gunshots going off and stuff like that. This is just, oh, we're all going to fight you, even though we're holding guns and different weapons and shit like that. And these ads don't pop up the whole time, guys, just different parts. But oh, then so she's as you find out the whole narration from the beginning has been her talking to this guy that she has kidnapped
Mhm.
as she's completing her job, bitching about her life to him,
Yeah.
basically.
And they're sneaking in some of that Marvel humor into this as
Yes.
well. She's like telling those like, she's very passive and like doesn't take serious things seriously, and they try to draw comedy from that, and apparently this is hilarious.
Yeah, like I said, just removing the comedy would have. Well, there you go, shill face. Just removing the comedy would have fucking helped the movie a little bit, you know.
Grace Randolph said that she is sexy in this chat. Just so you know, she said that I'm going through considering doing a shills defend. I might not. I'm going through all the shills to see. Because like as of right now, all they're literally saying is Marvel's back. That's like literally all they're saying. It's just so I got to get into the spoiler stuff a little bit. Maybe we'll get some other things. But
Yeah,
yes, Grace
exactly.
Chlamydia Burns said like, "Gosh, she looks sexy in that leather." Not really. Go ahead.
All right, sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, yeah, more humor, and then she's grabbing this vial of whatever, right? That's like her mission.
Sexy asterisk.
Mm-hmm. Especially with the all the extra clothing, right?
Well, yeah.
Let me take a look. Yeah, it's just a lot of nothing.
Yeah, she's narrating and they're telling jokes.
Pretty much. Okay, so you get this in the trailer, kind of like the Ambor trailer, right? You get
Oh
the
yes, literally
building blow up scene
literally
to
the
show how
end of
awesome she is.
Andor episode 6 that we covered yesterday. Yep. Yeah, she's no Scarlett Johansson.
Not at all.
And then, correct me if I'm wrong, we cut to Bucky, Congressman Barnes.
Yep, here we go. And we had foreshadowing of this in Captain Falcon, of course.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't know how to answer anything, so he's an idiot congressman too. He's like,
Yeah,
oh well, like with a bunch of retarded answers.
Would the guy who killed Howard Stark, like, really win an election. Maybe he would. I don't know. Like, it's just kind of like, would he win an election considering his past? You know, people probably wouldn't. I don't know.
That was the whole excuse why he couldn't be the Winter Soldier or the new Captain America. Remember? Oh, because of his past, this, and that. So he can't be the new Captain America, but he could be I mean, I guess it makes sense because politicians are all crooked, dirty, and whatever. But and then we
I
have
said, I just wrote this down. They said impeachment proceedings. I was like, I was
right.
just it was very meta to me, but it's for Valentina. It's for
Yes.
Elaine. She's
Madam Hydra.
Yes.
And her character's version of Madam Hydra never liked in the comics. Like their actual Viper Madam Hydra, you saw her in like the Wolverine movie. She was a lot cooler than fucking this version of Madam Hydra. Now we have her assistant right here. She plays the same role as the assistant in Captain Falcon, right? The DEI assistant. She's
the
Indian, but
the skinny broad who like kicks the shit out of men 3 times her size.
No, not her. Remember the African American woman that was like she was like the advisor for the president for Harrison Ford.
Vaguely,
Yeah.
I vaguely remember. I don't remember.
I know it's hard to remember. I just remember
all I remember is Red Hulk.
Yep. So she is in this. I don't know what the reason. I mean, it's to give information to Bucky and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but she's kind of a pointless character.
Yeah, she's there to like relay information.
Because what they do, they spend almost 15-20 minutes of scenes on this broad, and that kind of slows the movie down too, where they could have used their time a little more.
This goes right. Yeah, Elaine has the Tulsi Gabbard hair.
Yeah. Oh, and Elaine is freaking annoying as hell. And I actually think she's the worst part of the movie. She's that fucking annoying.
Yeah.
And this guy's like, gotcha.
I know I've seen this actor in other things, but I can't.
Wasn't he in The Wire? Is this the same guy?
Maybe.
I can't remember.
I can't remember either. I know I've seen this guy in some other things. Anyway.
He sure looks like him. So they're saying all this shit, and she's like, look, there's no Avengers, there's no this. I mean, apparently, now I guess the Shields are gonna tell you Doctor Strange is off world or off planet or dimension, right? Because he's in the dark dimension with Clea. Spider-Man, nobody remembers who he is, but he still should be. Nobody knows his secret identity, but he should still be out fighting crime, right? Kingpin mentions him. And then you have some of the other like Hulk still around, She-Hulk. Where are all the MCU people like She-Hulk and Kate Bishop and all the B and C team? So none of them, I guess none of them count. And then they go I don't know if they go for a recess or whatever, they're done for the day. And then she tells her assistant to cover all their tracks on all their experimental shit they've been doing.
Yeah, they do mention they mention Thunderbolt Ross and Red.
Oh yeah, turning into the Red
Hulk. So so they mentioned that, so like confirming that this takes place after that movie. And it's basically all I have for this.
Gotcha. Okay. So I think here she's already looking back at Bucky, right? So I guess she's kind of a mole in the beginning.
Yeah, and she's kind of like, we need to get rid of all the evidence.
Yeah.
So then she's like, and then that's what leads to what we're about to get to. But first, we got some comedy, I believe, coming up next, right? Yelena goes to Red Guardian's house.
Oh, yeah, and I saw this in the trailer. That's when I was asking my audience, like, when will this guy ever have a serious scene? Like I said, there is one in this, but this definitely ain't it.
This is the I'll report you to DoorDash HQ scene from the trailer. Yeah.
Deadbeat dad, this is what all deadbeat
dads
do.
Yeah, messy apartment. Yeah. Like brushes his teeth with soap.
Jesus. Affirming you need a woman barefoot in the kitchen doing the laundry, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, he's just a big fucking loser. Yeah, his character is like pointless. And this and Black Widow. She comes to the fucking house. We get a commercial.
Advertisement. Yep.
There we go. What's up, Dad?
So apparently she hasn't seen him in like what they say a year or so.
Yeah, I believe it was a year. Yeah, they do a lot of time jumps, right? There's a year on this, and then I think Fantastic Four is going to be a year after, right? Based off the end credit shit. So they're skipping ahead. I don't know if that's to catch up from the blip and the snap and all that shit or what, but they're definitely fast forwarding the timeline. Or maybe because they're taking longer to get movies out now. She's talking about you weren't there for me, blah 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 blah, and all that crap.
She mentions that she wants to quit working for Elaine.
Yeah. Oh, and he acts like he's still out doing jobs and all that when it's obvious he isn't because the way that he's delivering the lines. And I mean, there's really not a lot. It's just a lot of him being a clown, her talking about wanting to leave and all that. And again, you don't really get a serious straight moment from this dude till the end of the movie. And just when he starts to be serious, he throws a joke at the end. Oh, she talked about losing Black Widow as her sister and all that shit, right? And that he's the only family she has, or something to that effect.
Yep. And so she gets okay, so we get to my favorite scene of the movie after this, or no, she leaves and then Valentina calls her for one more job, and then we get to like my favorite part of the entire movie.
Definitely. Hey, can you talk to the audience for like 2 minutes real quick? I have an emergency thing that just popped up real quick that I have to take care of real quick.
Sure.
Awesome. Do you want me to unshare? That way you can share. Well, no, we'll just leave it at this. Here, I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Sorry, chat. I'll be right back.
It's cool. I'll just read these super chats that came in. Thank you guys. Thank you, Saint CP, for the $10. Thunderbolts could have been a story about trauma that seemed to be a common theme throughout the film and should have played off that, but it's Marvel. The actor that performed Bob did perform good. Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the whole like mental illness group therapy session finale. Everybody get together and give everyone a big hug. Right? That's literally what they do at the end of this movie, guys. They just all get in a big circle and give each other a big hug. And that defeats the final boss pretty much. Just a group hug and a group therapy session is basically what does it. Anyway, thank you, Saint CP. Yeah, did you already? I assume you already saw the movie, but yeah. Thanks for the $10. Red Jaguar for 5. Based Jeremy Renner. Yeah, that was a great quote. I did not know about that until now. It's hilarious. I always thought Hawkeye was an underrated hero, even in the comics, which is a shame because he's awesome. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Yeah, huge respect to James Renner for that. I don't think maybe we'll see him in Doomsday. I don't know, but I don't think we'll be seeing him in any of these B projects anytime soon, chat. Funny shit there. And Peter Rackus says that IGN gave the movie a 7 out of 10. Wow, that's interesting. They give everything a 7 out of 10, it seems like. But yeah, I'm seeing Shill. I know Eric Voss gave it a 9.1 out of 10. Soups gave it a 9 out of 10. I've heard some 8.5 out of 10s from some of these shills. Again, like I'm between a 4 and a 5 and a D plus. Yes, we get a group hug at the end of this, you guys. Group hug. Got to love it. Gotta love it. Let me see if I can get the thing up, and maybe I'll move on a little bit here. I don't want to go to YouTube, damn it. Give me just a second, chat. I'm going to pull up my copy of the movie because I did not go to the theater and give Disney my money to see this movie, chat. Never again will I do that. Okay.
He's back. He's back. Sorry, guys. Freaking car battery died.
You
Are we
good?
still there? Yeah, I had to go jump the car
Yeah.
for her.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect timing.
Showing what real dads do instead of Red Guardian. All right. Okay, let's see. Back to their chat. Fuck, man. Lots of filler.
Yeah, here I got it. Okay, so here they are talking. They keep talking. Let me blow it up to full screen. There we go. That's better. Okay, so she's walking away here and she's talking to Valentina. And Valentina says, one final job and then you are done. And then she sends her to this bunker. Not this bunker. This bunker right here. That goes, apparently it's this like fucking plateau. And it goes all the way under that plateau. And long story short, she sends Yolena, Walker, Ghost, and Taskmaster into this warehouse. And they're all there to basically kill each other.
Mm-hmm.
And she thinks that this is a good plan.
Yeah, she's like trying to cover her tracks. Wouldn't you want to just get them all in there and blow the whole fucking place up, and then you can get rid of all the other evidence too?
So we're following Yelena. So okay, this is funny, chat. So it's like a game. So she breaks in, and Yelena is hunting Ghost. Okay, pay attention, class. Yelena is hunting Ghost. All right. So she comes in and there's John Walker. John Walker is hunting Yelena. He has been sent to kill Yelena.
And he's doing a pretty good job in the beginning here.
Yeah. And Ghost, am I right?
Yep. Ghost is trying to kill. No,
Taskmaster. Where's Taskmaster?
It hasn't shown up yet.
Okay.
Ghost shows up, but I think Taskmaster's on the other side of John Walker, and she phases through John Walker and then attacks Taskmaster.
Yes, because Ghost is after
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster is after John. See, even I'm screwing up on this. Taskmaster is there to kill John, and Ghost is there to kill Taskmaster. And Valentina thinks this is a good plan somehow.
More masterclass, just like Andor.
So they're all there kind of like fighting each other, defending themselves from the other. There's all four of them. And there's Taskmaster. That's Taskmaster, right? Or is that Ghost?
That is Taskmaster. The new,
there's
new helmet.
Yes, new helmet Taskmaster. Don't get used to it. And she takes it off for like 2 seconds. So we do see her face for like 2 seconds.
Just to get the actress a plug, right?
Yeah, just so she can say that, get her a credit for the movie, I guess. And then when does that? Yeah, there. I think this is when it happens. Ghost shoots Taskmaster in the head, and she is dead.
Yeah, confirmed.
Kill.
Not coming
dead.
back.
No unceremonious. It's not discussed ever again by anyone. Even though her and Yelena have some history in the Black Widow movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was the victim, right? Yes, headshot. Ghost, so MVP of the movie, at least for me, Ghost, for killing female Taskmaster. And she's done. She's out of the movie.
I did notice the women all have makeup now. They're not uglified as much, right?
I guess.
They all look good, but they all have makeup.
Yeah, she had Yelena had this like eyeshadow on the entire movie, or like coloring around her eyes the entire movie.
Because I remember in Ant-Man and Wasp, or Wasp and Ant-Man, I guess you should call it. Ghost was not looking very upkept. So
and I forgot to mention, Yelena's target was Ghost. So Yelena was there to kill Ghost. Ghost was there to kill Taskmaster. Taskmaster was there to kill John, and John was there to kill Yelena. So it's like, okay, what would have happened if John showed up, like John and Ghost were the first two to show up. You're like, oh, what the fuck are you doing here? What the fuck are you doing here? So yeah, it's a really weird plan, but And then the only one that dies is Taskmaster. So Marvel, for once, giving the fans what they want. I can't wait to see the spoiler reviews and listen to some of the shills cry about
All
this.
the shrieks and
I know
they
some
didn't
of
know.
somebody will, probably Grace. So here's Bob. Bob just kind of stumbles out of a box or something.
Yes.
He was
Because
hiding in the
he's
corner.
presumed dead, and he's in this container with a bunch of other, because it's basically like a super soldier serum, and it's kind of like they started doing that in the early 2000s with Marvel Comics as well, but it's been a theme in the MCU, right? They're always trying to replicate the Captain America super soldier serum. So this is another form of that, but him and all the other test subjects are all quote unquote dead until he comes out of the box. Now, he doesn't tell them he came out of the box, so it's a big mystery. So they're like, how'd you get in here and all this? And he doesn't like tell them, well, I'm supposed to be this dead, whatever. He's like, oh, I don't know. I just can't remember. So,
yeah. And then, so we go to this party. We kind of jump back and forth a lot here. So we jump to this party at DC where Elaine's at. And then Bucky, there's her assistant. Then Bucky strikes up a conversation with her assistant, says, hey, if you want to talk to me, here's my card. And, yeah, that becomes significant later on. Valentina has an argument with the guy leading the impeachment proceedings. And then here's Bucky talking to her assistant. And that's pretty much this entire scene. You got anything on this scene?
not really.
Okay, yeah. So then here's the
Oh, then Bucky goes up. Oh, yeah, because so he's talking to the assistant, and she's like, I don't know. She mentioned something about him being a congressman and this, that, and the other, but they need to. This is when they kind of let you know, or let the audience know that she's going to be the one leaking information to Bucky, basically.
Yeah.
She wants to get her taken out.
So yeah, so here's Bob again, and they're like interrogating him.
And in the comics, Bob wasn't a beta cuck, at least not in the original Marvel Knights run. He was just a normal dude who wakes up with his girlfriend / wife, can't remember shit, has a bad dream about being a superhero and all this shit, and starts like cognitively starting to kind of remember shit and stuff like that. But he isn't like a cucked out beta like this dude is.
Yeah. And one more thing about Taskmaster, like in the Black Widow movie had like all these fucking like skills and everything. Was a very talented fighter who could just fucking own people and shit. And this just gets shot in the. You didn't see any of that here. Just a basic nobody. Almost just like it was very weird. It's like, yeah, we got to get rid of this fucking character.
It was too crowded for the cast because they had to have Bob and
I guess. So at this point everybody's talking, and then like everybody kind of figures out, okay, Valentina sent us all here to kill each other, but John's the one who's slow. I made sure to write this down. John's the one who's slow, who doesn't quite understand that yet. Like, no, I'm still on my mission or whatever. So he's the last one to get it because he's a fucking retard with a penis. And so they're all arguing. And then Valentina turns on. This is them arguing. And then she turns on this like heater incinerator thing. Or is that not yet?
Yeah, no, I don't think it's yet.
Okay, so they're all still talking.
I think Ghost tries to phase through a wall and she can't. Because they're using sonic emitters, just like they use against the Hulk, just like they used in the Captain Falcon movie. With the leader and stuff like that. So the sonic, scream basically keeps her from being able to phase through a wall, I guess.
Okay, yep. And then they turn on this like heater incinerator thing. And then John's still he's like, no, they might be about to open the door. That's what that might mean.
Yeah, because again, he's an idiot. Yep.
Yep. And let's see. So then the door opens. Is there a reason? I didn't see this, but is there a reason that the door opens?
Because Ghost and so they end up finding a panel. The women find the panel to the
Okay, I completely
sonic
missed that.
emitters or whatever. And John Walker does know how to bang shit, right? So he uses his Captain America shield and destroys the fucking control panel. They were going to try to hotwire it. He just fucking destroys it with the shield. It works. Ghost phases through the wall. And then they think, this bitch left us. And then right before the incinerator goes off, the door opens. But before that, is it John that saw that the casket? Or was it Sentry just noticing his own shit?
I don't know. There
Somebody,
it
I
is.
think just Sentry looks at that and realizes, oh, I guess I was in here. I don't think the rest of them know. Yeah, no, I think it's still supposed to be a secret, so they don't know. Woo.
Okay. Trying to be careful here.
Yeah.
Don't want to get blocked again by YouTube. Oh, there it was. So who is that looking at? I completely missed it.
So did I. Is that John Walker? Maybe, because he's an idiot. Look at her. Oh, you guys are idiots.
I think it was Ghost who looked at it. Anyway, that's the coffin he was in.
Yeah.
And then the door opens. There's an explosion. And then we get our first bit of mental trauma. Yelena goes to this flashback.
Because when they blow up, they all fall on the ground. We'll find out that she's touching hands with Bob. Mm-hmm. Because of that, she has this traumatic, life-altering memory from being in the Red Room program.
Okay, so then, we got the dream. Valentina gets informed that they're all working together. She's like, oh, they're not going to work together. And then her assistant comes up and says, hell, they're working together. And she's like, fuck, we got to kill them. And she sends a whole unit out to kill them instead of just doing that originally. Mm-hmm. Okay, so then
they dissed John Walker too, right? So they robbing them. He's sitting on his ass and he goes, oh yeah, good job guys, and he puts his hand up for somebody to help him up and they walk by him, of course.
Yes, and then Bob makes fun of him for being like Captain America for 2 weeks or something like that. To make sure to throw that.
Yeah, junior varsity Captain America or some shit like that.
They never call Yelena like Black Widow's little sister, less talented sister, or something like that.
Right.
Okay, so then okay, it's just chit chat. I don't know.
Red Guardian's on surveillance in his beat up fucking whatever vehicle, listening to them, and then it cuts back to them in the
I got Bucky. So then the assistant calls Bucky here.
This is the armed dishwasher scene.
Oh yeah, the armed dishwasher.
Gotta have that in there. Very funny.
Everybody loves that. So she calls him, and basically to inform, what does she go? I don't think I wrote down why she called him.
I think I don't know if at this point she's found out about the Sentry program or not. I don't think
she's like trying to recruit him or something. I don't know.
Yeah, she's like I think she's letting him know that that Elaine is destroying all the evidence and shit like that.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I believe.
Yeah, so the assistant is turning on Elaine, basically.
She's like, you better get down there because Elaine's losing her mind.
All right, and then we get a really cringe scene.
Oh god, and it's like 15 minutes of filler, maybe 10. But
yes, so they try to escape, and then so John's like, I can jump out of here. So he jumps, because he's a super soldier. He jumps really, really high, but he can't jump high enough, and then he falls on his ass in front of everybody, and everybody laughs at him.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all go back to back to back to back to do this military crawl or whatever up the
Yeah, I can't remember if it was John's idea or Bob's. It was one of the men's ideas.
I think it was Bob's.
I think it was Bob's.
Yeah, it was Bob's. I remember. So so here they are. They're all crawling up the giant hole like this.
Yeah, she says that he's hot or something like that, and Sentry or Bob says, "Oh yeah, I run hot." I mean, his character is the power of 1,000 suns, so that's supposed to be a reference to that.
And you get a lot of jokes in here.
Mm-hmm. It was just pointless. I don't even know what the point of the fucking scene was.
And then, so they reveal who Bob is here. Bob is the Sentry program.
Yeah, but he's dead. He's supposed
Yeah,
to be
he's dead.
dead. Everybody's reported as dead. Now, again, in the comics, they do a cover up to show that he's dead, but they know he's really alive, and they do this amnesia shit. Yeah, peak, man.
Man, yeah, I agree.
Soups is gonna love it.
Yeah, I agree with Soups. Yeah.
Did you already see Soups? Or what's the other? It wasn't Soups that does peak,
Caboose.
is it? Caboose. Yeah. Did you already see their reactions to this, or no? Not yet.
Not his. Like he hasn't. He's really weird. He doesn't do everything. He does like random shit. It's really weird. But yeah, this goes on forever. This climb.
Yes, it's like I said, 10 or 15 minutes. It's
and they're just going back and forth. And John Walker like tries to fuck everybody, and then just tries to like ditch everyone to save himself. But then
they get to the top, and they're like, "Well, how do one of us go get the door without the other three falling down the shaft?" And then he makes an executive decision.
Yes, and John has his flashback, and surprise, surprise, he's a deadbeat dad. He's a terrible dad.
Yeah, he's a deadbeat dad sitting next to the crib with his kid. Man,
yep, he's on his phone. He's ignoring his kid who's crying, and his wife comes in and scolds him. So he's a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that ain't shit, man. Like, I mean, my kids, you don't sit there and helicopter parent over them when they whine a little bit.
Yeah, well. There you go. We need to look down on poor old Johnny boy. He's the butt of every single joke.
Yep.
So it's like Red Guardian, but like he kind of like does it to himself.
Yeah, Red Guardian's just a juggling clown.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So Valentina's troops arrive.
And because she knows they're working together. And Yolena's like, "You can follow behind me, Bob," because they think Bob's just some civilian. And Ghost is supposed to go get a vehicle, like phase through some walls, go find a fucking vehicle to escape in. And then John Walker is supposed to do something, but he just wants to go and just do shit, you know? And she's like, "If you don't do it perfectly like I say, you're going to fuck it all up," and da-da-da-da, right? So shit doesn't go right. They
set off an explosion. They're fighting some of the troops. I guess they start by going in with non-lethals.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, even though she originally wanted them dead, and then she sends them in with non-lethals for some reason.
Yeah, like some gas and shit. And then Bob doesn't know how to do anything or use a gun. And then she holds his arm while the gun fires and twirls him around. Like, I mean, if the fucking dude didn't know how to pull the trigger properly, I don't know how he's doing all that, but whatever.
Yeah. So you get this long drawn out like escape sequence with everyone. Lots of a couple jokes thrown in there because you got to throw in some jokes.
And John Walker actually saves their ass, and then they almost shoot his ass. And he's like, "Oh, it's me," because he took a bunch of the soldiers out.
Mm-hmm.
And then they all dress like some of the soldiers that were in there with their fucking gas masks, and that's their escape.
Mm-hmm. That's their escape. They get stopped, and then Bob runs out and just shoots
Bob was in the back of the armored truck.
Shoots a gun up in the air. They all come out and shoot him. Then they leave Bob behind.
Because they think he's dead.
Yes.
He falls to the ground.
Yes, and then he ascends.
Yep.
So to speak.
He stands up, flies away, and Elaine gets really excited. Because she's like, "Oh my God, this shit works."
He falls to the ground, and there's like a big explosion when he falls to the ground.
Yeah, like a big fucking crater. Yep.
Yeah. Like a Thor crater from Thor 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then it knocks them off of the...
Yeah, destroys the vehicle they're escaping in, so now they got to walk through the fucking wilderness, desert, mountains.
Okay, I'm on the other page. That's why I can't find anything. So that, so then Valentina captures him. Elaine captures him. They put him back in a box to take him away to be like the newest superhero. And then right on cue, that's this scene right here when they take him away, put him away in a box. We get a nice advertisement. And then they're all walking in the desert, and then they hear a car coming, and it's Red Guardian finds them.
Juggling fucking pins like a clown, and then Yelena's trying to fucking hide from his ass, even though that's like the only transportation they have out of there.
Yep, and so we get the dad embarrassing his daughter in front of her friends joke that runs way too. It goes on for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah. He says he hasn't slept, and John Walker's like, well, maybe I should drive or some shit like that.
Yeah.
Basically, too, a lot of like the original trailers is like 80% of the action, except for the Yelena fight scene in the beginning and the Sentry scenes later on. Everything, all this car chase, a bunch of the other shit, a lot of the shit between all of them in the original thing before you see Taskmaster get their head blown off. Like that all is kind of like in the trailer. So they gave a shitload of the movie away in the trailer.
They sure as shit did. Basically all of Bucky scenes.
Yep, that's how they got people in.
Yep, and basically this entire shit, like, what are they? I wrote down some of the stuff they talk about. So, like, yeah, like this is supposed to be funny. I wrote that down. Like, yeah, so like Yelena and Red Guardian are arguing. The name of Yelena's soccer team was like the Thunderbolts, and that's where they get the idea for their name. Yeah. And like this is just this entire scene. I'm skipping through 10 seconds at a time. It goes on and on and on and on and on until convoy randomly approaches behind them. And
it's all of Elaine's boys.
Yeah, they can't do anything really. And then they get saved by Bucky, who's there now.
Yeah, and at first I thought Yelena blew up one of the vehicles because she shoots her pistol and then it blows up. And I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah, I was thinking.
And then she figures out, oh, yeah, it's Bucky because he's using his magnetic explosive shit that he's blasting on his motorcycle.
So then we get the, was it this scene right? Yeah, it was this one right here. So speaking of the Dark Knight from earlier, we get another scene from the Dark Knight. We get the cable flip right there from the Dark Knight.
Yeah.
When Batman does it to Joker's semi-truck. Yep, we get that scene right there. That reminded me of the Dark Knight. So when you said that earlier, I was like, wow.
The Dark Knight is strong in this one.
Yep. So then Bucky shoots the limo with the Thunderbolts, our heroes, and he captures them as well.
Yep. Yeah, he has them all.
He's turning
superhero
them
handcuffs.
Yeah, to testify against Elaine.
And Elaine's bought Avengers Tower.
Yes. Oh, yes, that's true. Yes, there it is. Yes, Elaine bought Avengers Tower.
She even makes drinks at Tony Stark's bar. She's the new Tony Stark.
So she talks to Sentry, and she gets her own flashback. Do you know anything about this?
No. I think it's just to show she's a sympathetic villain too, right? Aren't they all?
She's a victim.
Yeah, she's a victim. Her dad was a piece of shit. I think that's pretty much what we're getting. His dad, we find out Bob's dad was a piece of shit. No, wait, her dad isn't a piece of, some other piece of shit kills her dad or something like that. But she's trying to manipulate Bob. She's trying to look motherly. She even said that before she goes in the room. Does this look like a nurturing type
room? Yeah.
Yeah. But she's telling him how awesome he is. There's no Avengers or this is that. You're basically like God. You're so fucking powerful. You're so awesome. With me, you can just, rule the world, basically, type shit. You could be better than all the Avengers rolled into one.
So there's her assistant again. She's about to call Bucky, and it's convenient because he just captured Yelena, Red Guardian, Ghost, and John Walker, and they're trying to plead their case to him and everything.
About Bob, and he's laughing about the name Bob because that's funny, But then the assistant Rat calls him and talks about Bob too, so that corroborates their story.
Yeah, it's Bob. It's Bob. Yeah, so this is this scene. He's like, "Oh shit, they were telling the truth. Fuck, we got to." And I think
she explains Bob's supposed to be dead, and he fucking flies and all this other shit. So now Bucky's like, "Fuck." This is kind of a real thing to worry about.
And Bucky gives a speech. And then, all right, we're going to team up now. Great. We're 2/3 of the way through the movie. Almost like no time. This all happens very quickly in the course of like what, a day and a half.
Yep.
So then, yeah, Elaine finds out her assistant ratted on her, didn't really do anything, kind of just fires her.
Yeah,
Or
she says,
Sentry.
"You're fired." She mistook her for Mrs. Dash and fired her.
All right. And she's like training Sentry here.
Yeah, he starts heating up the fucking water, moving it telekinetically.
He learns his shit pretty damn quick too.
Crash course from Elaine.
So they're riding in the back of a semi, and we get more jokes. We get a "Are we there yet?" joke, because the kids are in the back.
Oh, they also talk about little dicks, or is John's little dick or something like that.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I don't remember.
I can't remember the exact context of it, but yeah, haha, real funny.
Making fun of his helmet and shit.
Yeah.
So they go on with no plan. Bucky just crashes the car into a building. Crashes the truck into a building. They get out and start fighting Elaine's dudes, and then she just invites them up to the floor. That's the elevator scene.
From the trailer, yeah.
Yep. And she talks and then introduces Sentry.
She laughs about Red Guardian because she doesn't know who the fuck he is.
Oh yeah, they make fun of Red Guardian because she doesn't know who he is.
She makes fun of John Walker again for being a discount Captain America. Bucky's a criminal, failed congressman who's going to lose his term faster than anyone ever. Ghost is a piece of shit. Yelena this. And then he's like, "I am the Red Guardian." And she goes, "I don't even know who the fuck that is." So clowns him. And then now we have, upgraded Sentry.
Yeah, she like dyes his hair.
And
like gives him this like gay looking. Is this a suit for that? I think this is.
That's the suit in the comics. Yep.
Okay, it looks real. I don't know. I just did not like it.
It still has the look of all the MC. Like they all have the same rubbery look. Like
yeah,
I made it like spandex or something, right? But I think he's too skinny to pull it off, right? I don't think he's like built or anything.
Yeah,
so they probably have to do it for the padding to kind of make him look.
Yeah, the suit makes him look ripped. Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not so much ripped, but not so anorexic because I think he's just a skinny little kid. But
and then this fight happened. What did you think of this fight?
It wasn't bad. I mean, he would destroy them all pretty fucking quick. That was like I already knew the story was going to be Sentry defeating himself because there's no way any of these characters could do shit to him. It'd be like Thor taking on all these characters, right? Except. That's just not going to happen. I mean, it was all right. Like some of the effects were little cringy and all that, but they did some cool like aspects of like shit that he would be able to do. So it was all right. It wasn't. Again, it's better than all the other fighting scenes in the beginning, I would say.
Okay, it didn't really do all that much for me. I was kind of just like, yeah. He's freaking God and they're mortals.
Exactly. Yeah. And then he rips Bucky's arm off, throws it at him.
Yeah.
Toys with Red Guardian, throws him out the window, pulls him back, throws him fucking back out.
Yeah, so he learned his fucking powers pretty fucking quick though.
Yeah.
Really goddamn quick. Like in a couple hours?
Yep.
This is when he rips Bucky's arm off. There it is. He throws it at him. Bucky's just laying there. Again, like Bucky has like absolutely nothing to do in this except, just show up when he's needed to and get people to show up at the theater.
Oh, yeah. Grace Sky brings out a good point. They pussied out when it came to his accurate story. Drug addict who accidentally ingests the Golden Sentry Serum. I think he wasn't a drug addict. I think he was a drunk, though, because I just kind of skimmed through at least the original Marvel Knights run. They said he had a drinking problem. That's what his wife or girlfriend was saying and shit. But yeah, he basically is hooked on this serum, right? And he starts taking more and more and more of it, which brings out the void.
Yep, and we're going to get to the void. So they just run away. They just get back in the elevator. He lets them go. They just run away. Our heroes running away. And he does not go after them. And Elaine orders him to go kill them all, and he doesn't want to do it.
Yeah, because he likes Yelena, right? Yelena was nice to him.
Yeah. Yeah, and then Yelena goes girl boss and basically just scolds everybody, calls
Says
John
we're all
Walker a piece of
losers.
shit.
Fuck
Yeah,
you. I'm out of here. Yeah.
yeah. And so then yes, this is where oh, and yeah, and Elaine has like she makes a device that she presses a button
Kill switch.
and then
Yeah.
kill switch for Sentry.
Well, because he says, you even said, like, I'm God. Like, why do I fucking need you, bitch? You know? He starts figuring it out. Like, I don't need to listen to you. I'll do whatever the hell I want to do. I can go be all the Avengers, like you said, and I'm just not going to listen to you. And that's when she tries to hit the kill switch, right? But he stops her from doing it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then she gets saved by her assistant as he's choking her out.
Yeah. Your assistant presses it. Yep. Thank
And
God.
now he's quote unquote dead, right?
Yep, and that's about all the actions sequences that you're going to get in the movie. You get like a little one with them rescuing some people. That's not
You're
really
starting to see a theme, though, right? We had cherry blossoms save the day in Captain Falcon, and now we have a counseling session for the Void that's going to save him in this. So it's like, so what's going to happen in Doomsday? Are we going to just tell Doctor Doom how awesome he is, and then he's just going to be like, oh, great, I'm going to go home now.
Be
That's
more
good.
like our Iron Man, and they all tell him the stories about Tony Stark from our universe, and then he
goes and de-arms everybody. You know, let's de-arm the world.
Cries. Yep, that'll be the way to do it. Yeah, 100%. So this is the one good speech you said, I believe, when Red Guardian talks to Yelena, and he's like, "For once a father, no humor."
Yeah, and I think this is when she brings up Blackwood. I could have been wrong. She may have mentioned it more than once, but I think definitely in this scene she says, "I don't have anyone." Da, da, da. He's like, "I'm your dad. You're this, that, and the other, and you're not a loser, and all this shit." And da 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 da. So we're not going to do any audio, Paul, just so we don't get it taken down.
Yeah, it will 100% get the stream blocked. I know that for a fact. If I play, it'll 100% get the stream blocked.
But it's the only serious scene. Now, I haven't gone back and rewatched Black Widow, nor would I, because it's horrendous. But I swear, nobody's pointed out a scene besides this one that he's ever not been a clown.
Yep, and then so that's that was pretty good. And then they all run outside, and the Void.
Yep, they see a darkness.
Yeah.
And his character's a shadow, and you only see his eyes. That's pretty accurate. Like, I've seen other people point out like newer iterations of the Void and stuff, but in the original Marvel Knights, that is kind of how he's portrayed. Like, he has a hood on his head in one of them and shit, but he is pretty much like a dark figure with like you can see his like eyes and shit like that. Not quite like this, but it's pretty accurate. He appears more like a monster later on in other iterations and shit. And towards the end of that same Marvel Knights run, towards the end of the fifth issue, I think.
Yeah, so he starts ending people.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh wow, this is getting serious. There's some major consequences going on in this movie, except it all gets undone at the end.
Yep.
All of it, everyone who dies.
Except for maybe the people, helicopters blowing up and shit. I don't remember seeing them jump.
They just pop back up. They just pop back up where they phased out, where the helicopter was, and just fall to their deaths. I don't know.
Yeah.
So then, like, all the Thunderbolts, like, they all just run around and save people.
It's kind of like a regurgitation of the first Avengers movie, right? Where they start going around saving everybody from the Chitauri. It's like a wannabe version of that.
Yeah.
Mixed with some BVS, right? This scene with the big concrete and all that kind of reminds you of Batman versus Superman.
They all stand tall, and I guess everybody stops running away from the fucking supervillain up in the sky who's literally ending everyone.
Yeah.
And they all stop running away to give a round of applause to our heroes.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of weird, but okay, they got to give them their moment, I guess. And then, Red Guardian goes and saves a little girl. Then Void comes, and they're all trying to get everyone away. Then Yelena walks into the Void.
Yeah, not knowing if she's self-terminating because
Yes.
everyone else is flattening onto the ground like shadows, like they
Mhm.
see. And that visual with the black shadow, that's kind of the way it portrays him, like in the comics and stuff.
Yeah. So Yelena goes back to her flashback. Now we're going to get to this here in a little bit, so I'm not going to talk about it now. So Yelena, keep this in mind. Yelena goes into the void and immediately gets put into her flashback. You got some teases of everyone else's flashbacks a little bit. John Walker's. So yeah, whenever they come into contact, they go through like their deepest, darkest nightmares or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she's like fighting her way through it.
Which isn't what the void would just actually eradicate and kill like people and planets and shit like that. He wasn't going around putting people into dream states that they can pull out of.
Mm-hmm. Okay, interesting. So yeah, she kind of just goes through all of this, and then everybody else is talking. They're like, "Oh, we got to go in and help." So they decide to go in and help.
But they're like, I think Bucky or one of them's like, well, how do we know you won't just die?
Yeah, I
Like,
think it's Bucky because John Walker was like, "Oh, I got like a memory flashback when
oh,
I
that's
missed
right,
him."
that's right. So that kind of
Yeah.
gives them a little bit of logic.
So
So John
Yelena,
Walker actually figured something out, right?
yeah, Yelena finds Bob and then goes in and talks to him. And then this is the therapy session, Chess. So I was wondering at this point, I was like, when is this like? Because everyone was saying like it's mental health and
Yeah.
like emotions and everything. So they literally come in and have this. They sit down and they talk and they tell each other, talk about their feelings and their emotions and everything. And then this is like the final boss fight right here.
Yeah, and then in the original sequence, like when they find Bob and all that, and they're waiting for Ghost to do all that shit, she talks to him about, oh, I go into my own little void too. That they hint at void in that. I forgot in the beginning. You go into your own little void, like of isolation, and she goes, you should just push that down and suppress it, right? So they're telling you now. Now she's telling Bob, I shouldn't have told you that. I was wrong. You need to face it and just like talk through it and da 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 da. So, yeah.
Talking about
Yeah, sometimes they'll annoy the fuck out of you and make it worse, right, Grace Guy?
yeah. But no, like look at she cares so much. And then I want to get to it because like I saw this happen and I was like, what in the fuck? So everyone else comes in. Okay, so the room starts attacking them because like they decided to leave. And then everybody just shows up.
Yeah.
Everybody just shows up. So everyone else made it through their nightmares, their trials and tribulations or whatever. Everyone just did all of what Yelena did at the beginning of this. So John Walker settled everything with his wife and kid in the vision. He settled all that off camera.
Right.
Red Guardian,
we don't even know what happened because we never
I
saw
think
any
like
of his vision.
I think Bucky like drops a line like, "Oh yeah, my history isn't that bad" or something like that. Like, yeah, right. Bucky's got some fucking history.
Yeah.
That it might take Bucky a while to sort
to get through
get through all of his shit, right?
Well, and
John
it's your
Walker and
think
like
about
Red
it too.
Guardian probably too.
It's your worst, deepest, darkest thing. And John Walker's only problem was that he didn't pick the kid up when it was crying. Like he's got a pretty damn clean record, if you ask me.
Like,
if that's his deepest, darkest fucking
and
problem.
they all just make it through. They all just make it through and they're there at the exact same time. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I thought they were going to each go through something like, oh, this could be kind of interesting. Right. And then they just go skip right over it. They're here now.
Well, that's what I'm saying in the beginning of the show. If they would have gotten rid of the comedy and actually had some shit follow through and pay off, it probably would have been a lot better. But
yeah, and like the show, like all the show, like the ending is so good, you guys. It's so good. And I'm like, dude, like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, again, like it's Yelena and nobody else. Yelena and Bob are the two, like we said at the beginning. Yelena and Bob are the two main characters. They're the primary focus. Everybody else is there to just help get people to show up to the movie and help make them look good.
Yeah.
So that really pissed me off when that happened. I was, and
I used to make I like the first Wonder Woman movie. I think it's done really well. It's pretty comic accurate to like the later versions of Wonder Woman. But the ending of that movie, I've always made fun of because it's like over the top with Ares and all that shit. And but I'll take that. At least it's like a fucking superhero movie ending where there's like shit going on. They're fucking fighting. Now it's like you don't even get a proper hero ending to a movie. It's just fucking weird. Even the Cassandra Nova shit in Deadpool and Wolverine, right? What do they really do? They hold hands together and form the arc thing that overloads Cassandra Nova and she dies. Like they don't actually really do shit.
Well, yeah, so we're going to get to that here. We get something similar in this. So they're like, okay, so Bob's like, this is the safest room. And then Yelena's like, well, what's the worst room? Let's go there. Like, okay.
Yeah. Let's get to the end of this movie, Bob.
Yeah.
Trying to fucking fast forward here because we have to do this super fast ending.
Yeah. So this is the entire city of New York getting voided.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're all fighting their way through. And I thought for a second here, like, oh, maybe this will be it. They're all going to go through like a scene of their past and they're all going to have to deal with it together or something. No, we go through, I think, Bob's parents. We go to Bob's parents' house and that's about it. His abusive dad.
Yeah,
like
his dad's
and then there was like a chicken or something. Wasn't there like a chicken or something?
Oh, it was like a gerbil or something. Not a gerbil, but like a fucking,
like it was, hang on. It's like a chicken and there it is.
Yeah.
A mascot chicken. I don't know what this had to do with it.
Oh, that was for her Thunderbolts team, maybe.
Oh, is
maybe
that
was the mascot of her fucking Thunderbolts team?
I don't know. This fucking I was like, what the fuck is this? Look at that fucking thing, chat. What a great movie this is. This is the great ending that the shills are talking about. A fucking chicken and a chicken mascot. And then like Bucky punches him with his Wakanda arm, and then that knocked it out for good. Yeah, it looks like the chicken from Family Guy, kind of. You could have just had Peter Griffin in here fighting this thing. It would have made just as much sense.
Right.
Yeah, it didn't. This wasn't explained or anything. They just start fighting this chicken. It's like this is one of those movies like you really have to turn your brain off.
You know, it's funny. The rest of the comedy doesn't hit, but this does. Reviewing it,
like seriously, like this is one of those movies you got to turn your brain off. Like, oh, why is there a chicken here? You got to turn it off to the point that you don't ask yourself, why is there a fucking guy dressed as a chicken here? I don't know.
I like this.
So there it is. They're still fighting it. There he is.
Smacks him with a fucking billboard or like
with a Thunderbolts. And then, I think Bucky knocks him out.
Of course, he hits Red Guardian.
There he is. There he is.
Oh, shit.
Holy shit. There you go, chat. That should have been the thumbnail for the stream right now. Thunderbolts.
Fuck.
Holy shit.
Well, here, let me screenshot. Maybe I'll use this shit in my, there we go.
There you go.
I'll use it in my thumbnail for Monday. Part of it.
There you go. I'll blow that up for you.
All right, I'm
Chat's
good.
Like, what the fuck is this? Like, what? When did we move on from this? Is still Thunderbolts. We're still talking about Thunderbolts. They're just fighting this chicken man for some reason.
Oh shit.
And so that's this is the great ending. This is the great ending. This is better, the best thing since Endgame. Right here.
Definitely better than Deadpool and Wolverine.
Best thing we've gotten in Marvel since Endgame. Right here. This ending. This is saving the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is back. Chat. It's back. So, okay, moving on from the chicken, they eventually find the Void.
Yep, and he just eradicates two doctors that are standing next to him.
Mm-hmm.
Melts their ass.
So he basically just he uses
telekinetically like throws metal at everyone. You think Magneto's fighting him all of a sudden? Starts throwing
you'd think
metal around everybody.
He like nails John Walker to that piece of equipment back there.
Mm-hmm.
And
glass,
so Bob fights the Void hand to hand. And then he eventually so Bob like tackles him and starts wailing on him, but like that's what the Void wants. So it like starts off, it's like, oh, you got to fight the darkness, you got to fight it. And then it's like,
because it wants to combine with him, But they should have actually had a real battle, right? Like in the sky, doing Superman,
something
like Zod
like
versus shit, right? That's what they should have done, to where they're actually combating it. And then he figures out, oh, I'm fighting myself, this, that, and the other, and then not do it. But instead, they just go straight into the next counseling session.
KFC in the MCU, And then, so Red Guardian frees Yolena. She does like a fucking parkour master run through the entire
through all the telekinetically thrown shit.
Yep. And then she goes up and like grabs everybody, conveniently just breaks out of their restraints.
First it's her, and she's like, I'm here for you, Bob. You shouldn't do this. You're good, Bob. You're good.
So like they're saying, he was fighting the darkness, but that's what the darkness wants. So then they're like, don't fight the darkness. So they all come up and they give Bob a big, there it is. They give Bob a big hug.
Yeah, they're all telling him how much they like him. Even John Walker likes him.
He is. Yeah, we like you. You're our friend. We're going to hug you. We love you. Give us a hug.
Please undisintegrate everybody.
Yeah, they do a big group hug. And then that's it. Victory. That's it. That kills the Void. And then the darkness recedes. Everybody's alive. And that's it.
And then at this point, they're like, now we're going to turn Elaine in. Bucky and all that are going to fucking run up to her.
We get to the big ending, the very quick ending. We don't see the chicken. Quick. The chicken's gone. The chicken was just there.
The chicken may be in Doomsday, though. You never know, because we know the Void's going to be back for Doomsday. Yeah. So the chicken may be also.
Yeah. So I guess Bob lost his memory here or something, so he doesn't really remember what happened.
Correct. Yeah, because he has like split personality kind of shit going on, and again, they suppress his memories like intentionally. They do a spell on the whole world so they don't remember who he is. Kind of like they did with Spider-Man. It's weird. They always take concepts from other comic shit and they shove it into the MCU, and that way it fucks up the next thing they need to do with that same concept.
Yeah, John Walker's shield gets like completely bent in half.
Yeah, I think he says he turned it into a taco or something like that.
Yeah. And there's Bucky. Yes, Bucky is in this movie. Didn't really talk about him a whole lot, but yes, he is in this movie.
They go to address her.
They go to like arrest Elaine, and she leads them through that curtain, and then she has a press conference, and she introduces all of them as the new Avengers, and that's what the asterisk is. They are the new Avengers.
Bob gets excited. They don't know what the fuck's going on, and then she goes up and tells Elaine, "We own you."
Yep.
But I don't know how much of an own it is when you just basically lost your chance of putting her away. You're all afraid of her and all this shit. But instead of owning her right then and there, you're letting her off the hook. So now what? You're going to go own her in 6 months, and everyone's going to be like, well, why didn't you bring that shit up 6 months ago when that shit happened? So they're going to all lose all their credibility.
Yeah, the chicken should lead the Avenger. There you go. I take that over these.
Do better than Soy Wilson.
Yeah.
The chicken was putting it down with that fucking sign.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Soy Wilson, man, he'd probably want him some of that chicken though. He'd want to cook him some of that.
That's true.
He'd want to fry that chicken, right, chat? And that's the movie. That's the movie. That's the end. New Avengers, and then roll credits. That's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then the after credit scene, I have that. I can play that on mute if you want. Do we want to put that up? Or
maybe not play it. You can put it up.
Skip through it. Yeah, I'll skip through it. Okay, let me
let it play. Definitely don't let it play because I assume it's something they're trying to take down. Big
Yeah.
time. All right, so we get the big after credit scene, which let's be honest, it spoils Fantastic Four. Oh, let me put mine down. Put yours
I'm
up.
trying to find it. Hold
Oh,
on.
hang on. Yes, so we get a post credit. It's a very long one. It's like 2.5 minutes, and we get more of the fucking lame humor.
I think I got it on Twitter, actually. Hold on.
Yeah, it was. You sent it to me. On
Oh, okay,
Twitter.
cool. Then I'll go into that.
Yeah, you can look at our thing here. Let me close my screen. There we go.
Okay, there it is. Yeah. Okay, let me. Whoa. Loud as fuck. Okay, let me mute the sound.
Yeah, just skip whenever you're ready.
All right, here we go.
So this is the so I'm sure, chat, you've probably heard about the big post-credit scene from this movie. So yeah, here we go. So they mentioned Sam Wilson, Soy Wilson.
Yeah, they basically are like, oh, you should call Sam. Now, I think this is 14 months later, 12 months later, 10 months. I can't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So and they're walking into Avengers Tower, I think.
They
right?
are the new Avengers.
They are the new Avengers. They're taking over the
Significant
tower.
downgrade, I must say.
Yeah, right. No real super
like
abilities.
Earth is fucked. Like Earth is fucked if somebody shows up.
Pretty much. So they come walking in and they're talking about how Captain America and him had a fall. Captain America, of course, we got to validate it again. Captain Falcon and him have a falling out. And then Bob coming in as well. And then they talk about dealing with a space threat or something to that effect. Now, look how long this is. A fucking 3-minute post-credit scene, guys. The longest one ever.
And they're like, I haven't seen this the best post-credit scene like since like the Infinity Saga. Like,
I haven't seen a good. Well, I think they all suck, including this one, since like Ragnarok, right? Because at the ending of Ragnarok, that's when they say they're going to go back to Earth, and Thanos' ship fucking.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And that like sets the tension up for Infinity War, obviously. But yeah, that's probably the last good one because all of their end credit scenes have been trash since. And then they get they just do this long back and forth shit. I don't remember the context of it because it's been so damn long now. Here's Red Guardian, clown again. He's wearing God knows what, looking like a fucking jackass again. I mean, I don't even know what the shit is. And then they talk about space threat or an extra dimensional spaceship or something. Now, how they figure that out,
or incursion or something?
Yeah, there's a ship coming in outer space. Now, how the fuck do they know that it came from another universe? Like, I don't understand how anyone would have that intel. And then they show this ship coming in on the news.
Yep.
And the ship looks like a ship we already seen in a trailer for another movie, but we have the Marvel MCU audience full of fucking retards, the only ones that are left watching this and paying for tickets still. So they have to really let you know. They always got to hold your hand. And there it is. So they, just in case you didn't know from the, all the trailers and all the publicity we've been doing for the Fantastic Four movie, here's the number 4 to clue you in, guys, just in case you didn't know. And then I think they have a sign language interpreter tell them. They say it in about 236 different languages, just in case the audience didn't figure out what they were getting at.
Yep. So basically, at the end, so we know the ending of Fantastic Four, that they leave their universe and come to this one.
Yeah.
We already know. Yeah, we know the ending. So
and there's some fake rumor leaks that like Joshy Boy and people have been talking about. So some of those leaks are actually kind of somewhat accurate, maybe. So I'm not saying all of them are, but
I think we all knew that, but like the normies don't know that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I think they were talking about the ending being too dark, so then they made it to where they escaped the universe or some shit like that. I can't fucking remember. Originally, they're supposed to just lose.
All right, so yeah, that was Thunderbolts, chat. Yeah, again, I give it like between a 4. I'm just gonna say D+. I can't decide between a 4 and a 5, so I'm just gonna say D+. D+, not as bad as Captain Falcon, Brave New World, not as bad as the Marvels, nowhere near as good as Deadpool and Wolverine, not as good as Guardians 3, Not as good as No Way Home, as some of these shills are saying it is, Eric Voss. But yeah, didn't really do. It's probably never going to watch it ever again. We'll see these characters. I think just about all these characters in Doomsday, most likely. But yeah, lower mid tier for me.
Yeah, I would probably say 4.5. I think I see some people. Melissa said a 4, Jack said a 5. I'm probably like right in the middle, 4.5, which would be about a D plus, right? Because a 5 is
Yeah.
like the middle, right? So you're not doing like
Mhm.
school grading 70%. You don't
Mhm.
do it like that.
70%
So
is the
to me,
speed.
mid is 5, which is average. So yeah, a little below mid, 4.5. And they had good elements that they just didn't follow through on because they had to do the Marvel humor, make fun of the fucking, John Walker continuously. So make all of
Yep.
Sentry and the Void's murders fucking, reverse. So there's no actual stakes.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm gonna knock some of these super chats out. Thank you guys for the support tonight as well. Good shit. Good shit. Got a lot more of these coming up. A lot more breakdowns of shit. We're gonna be breaking down all of Ironheart, right?
Yeah.
Can't wait for that. Yeah,
And I'm surprised they're not dropping.
That's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be. I have a feeling it's just gonna be freaking a troll session.
I think it's going to be Wokalite levels of fun. I had a lot of fun. I did so many because there was a lot of lore shit in the Wokalite, so I had fun ripping that shit to pieces. I have a feeling Ironheart's going to kind of be like that, but I don't know.
It's going to be one of those. One of the shills are really good. They're going to be pushing the "if you don't like it, you're a racist" narrative, and we always have fun with that.
Always.
We always have a lot more fun with them and their narratives than they do watching the actual show. All right. Saint CP for $5. Off note, The Last of Us is tanking in the audience score, and the media are blaming troll. Of course they fucking are. It's review bombers. The review bombers, right? Just like they review bombed the game. It's impossible to these people that, maybe most people just didn't like the game and the story of the game. And most people also don't like the story of season 2, which for the most part follows the game. It's not that the story's bad. It's not that a majority of people don't like it. It's the fucking review bombers.
And I'd argue there would be more review praisers around to try to bump the score up, and bots and shit they use. So
yeah, that's why I don't trust any of it. Some of these media people, they look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores as like gospel. I think it's all bullshit.
Yeah, I just go by
I don't think that this movie that we just covered should be anywhere near as high as it is. But I think it's one of those that I do think that if I were to explain it, this is one of those movies where the anti-Marvel, the anti-MCU, anti-Disney crowd, most of them are kind of skipping this one, kind of like with Andor.
Yeah, it's like a safe space, like Andor.
Yeah, it's just like one of those ones. I'm just not going to just skip it.
You just don't hear them talking about how great the writing is, though, because it's not.
Yep. Red Jaguar for $2. We'll finally remember Ghost for something. You know what? You can't take that away from Ghost. MVP, probably I'll give the MVP of the movie to Ghost for offing Taskmaster in 30 seconds. Getting her the fuck out of there. That was kind of like the running gag.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There were some people who were saying the Taskmaster was in the whole thing, but yeah, just off her, boom, just like that. So shout out to Ghost, and shout out to James Renner as well.
Yes, Jeremy Renner.
Yes, god damn it. All right, Red Jaguar for another $2. The chicken will save the MCU in Avengers Doomsday.
Hey, in Endgame, a rat saved him. Remember, the rat ran over the thing that opened the portal that let Ant-Man out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, the rat. Yeah.
So I wouldn't discount the chicken yet.
Mm-hmm. And Red Jaguar for another $2. Black Panther is chicken's arch nemesis. Yeah, maybe that's the main villain for Black Panther 3.
Could be. I wouldn't doubt it.
And here we go. Bucky and Sam, they had a falling out because Sam wouldn't give Bucky the N-word pass.
That's it. That makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. Maybe he'll bring him the chicken, though.
I mean, he also could have co-signed for Sam at the bank, right? Soy Wilson needed a bank loan, couldn't get one. You know, I mean, you think at least Bucky could have went down there and co-signed for him or something.
Maybe Bucky will kill the chicken and bring his corpse to Sam, and that will mend things. I don't know.
Barbecue it up.
Yep. All right, you guys. Well, that was Thunderbolts. Thank you, Star Wars Marvel. Just 2 days in a row with this shit. Unbelievable, man.
Yeah. I apologize for the little interruption in the beginning, but you know, real life happens.
We managed. That's why there's 2 of us, and we're here. Yeah, Thunderbolts. What do you guys think, chat? The chicken. Chat likes the chicken. I think, maybe I might have to take the MVP away from Ghost and give it to the chicken.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the best part of the review.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
A lot funnier than their comedy.
That one screenshot was fucking hilarious. Yeah, that was more funny than any of the jokes in the movie. 100%. 100%.
Yeah, it's a shame. MCU had all kinds of equity, That's why everyone knows Star Wars is dead because it's been dead from the beginning, right? But
that's good
building off of what started with Paramount and all that, and it took Feige a while to get all his SJW hires in there to fucking start destroying it. But people used to give it another chance, and it's obvious the chances are all gone now. They ran out of equity.
That's a good question from Jack Harrington. Will Fantastic Four be worse than this?
Probably.
It's like you want to say no, but then you're like, female Silver Surfer.
Yeah. I mean, people are gonna lose their shit over Galactus. That's gonna be the one redeeming.
I think it'll definitely make more money than this.
Yeah, there may actually be a battle at the fucking end. I mean, obviously, they're going to be leaving their.
Might not have as high of a Rotten Tomatoes score, though.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know.
I think the audience score will be lower.
I think it might be. You had, Sue Storm's going to be the leader. We still don't know if Johnny Storm is going to say Flamer on. He still could. Ben Grimm may also be swinging that way too. So for all we know, they may hook up with each other. So there's lots of things they could definitely do to make Fantastic Four just as bad. I don't think they will though, because I think they know it's a way more popular franchise than Thunderbolts.
Yeah. So I think it'll definitely make more money. Probably, I think it'll be the highest, definitely make the most money of the 3 Marvel movies this year.
I don't think it'll pass Deadpool and Wolverine.
That was last year.
Oh, that was last year. Okay, yeah. It'll probably grow some. I don't think it hits $1 billion. I don't even know if it'll hit 800 million.
I don't think it'll hit $1 billion. No, I don't think it will. Yeah, Fantastic Four. Yeah, the fucking shills. Oh, Jesus Christ, oh my God, that was like the worst I've seen them in a while. The worst I've seen them in a while.
If they show Galactus bring down his ship like Tatu or something, and he actually see him putting fucking shit into the earth and he's sucking the fucking there's lots of cool shit they can do that was done in video games and in comic books and shit. If they add some of that shit into it, it will make a lot of people like it a lot more, just making it more comic booky. I'm sure they won't, but we'll see. Make Johnny gay and they might be. Well, that's been my guess, Mr. Grimm, for fucking 2 years now, because he's an alpha male playboy, so obviously you want to make him gay, right? Because that cucks that right.
Well, they said that they were going to tone down on his being like a playa and everything, right? Now if he's gay and they want to tone down the gay, then that would be homophobic. So
yeah, they won't tone. He
might. So yeah, it would be progressive. If he's gay, you can't say you can't have him hitting on men left and right. Just like that one fucking idiot who said about fucking Lando. It's just if you have a guy, you can't have him in 2024, 2025. You can't have a guy hitting on a bunch of women. That's not a good look. But if he's hitting on men and women and droids. Well, okay, that's progressive. That's more acceptable in 2025. These people are so fucking fucked up.
Yeah, they're fucking weird.
Mental illness is yes, this movie's about mental illness. Like there's a lot of mental illness in the real world.
Maybe that's why it's hitting for a lot of the shills, you know?
Yeah.
Could be. Rhino, I went on Rhino's stream very shortly last night after we did our stream. He brought up a good point. They set everything in Andor up for all the shippers. Like all the different relationship. It's all just shit to make all the shippers like this ship and that ship and this ship. That was their goal from day one, it looks like.
To gay or not to gay? That is the question for Marvel. I think
the chicken will return. Imagine if they did that at the end, like they do the Avengers will return. Don't worry, folks. The chicken will return.
I'll stick them in some post-credit scene somewhere, probably. All right, chat. Well, keep an eye out on the channel. We're gonna have I'm contemplating whether or not I'm collecting clips for Shill's Defend, but like right now it's been very lacking. I might just use what I got for Wednesday's Shill watch-alongs. If it's not that much or if it's enough, I might do a video on it. So wait and see. I'm not going to commit to anything yet. Just stay tuned. See if I do that. It'll be on Monday. Sunday will be the members only stream on the main channel, and Monday we'll be back on John Gets Gaming, and I will be back on this channel for The Last of Us episode 4, and then of course show watch-alongs on Wednesday on the main channel as well. Pierce, you got anything? I think I asked you this last night, but just a reminder for anyone who might have missed it. You got anything coming up?
Well, yeah, so Monday I'm going to be doing a Tales of the Underworld review. Just first thoughts.
Is that coming out?
That's coming out May the 4th. So I think Melvin's doing an
day after
anti-watch. I think he's doing an anti-watch at midnight Sunday morning, right? So 1 a.m. your time Sunday morning. So we'll be tuning into that probably. And then I'll be breaking it down on Monday. I always try to go at 8. I may go at 9. I'm not sure. And then we're getting into the SOTOR Encyclopedia. We're going to start breaking it fucking down. I'm going to hit the intro, and then I'm going to do some polls on which of the factions, because you have different factions that you can choose in the MMO. So we're going to do that, get into a Silver Surfer comic, and then Asajj Ventress, we're finishing her expanded universe story arc, which ends right at the same time when they do an Asajj Ventress bastardization in Tales of the Underworld. So that's going to go together nicely. So that's what we're doing. And then I'm right now I'm communicating with Star Wars Scran, John Getz, and Matt Wilkins to finish off our New Jedi Order Dark Ruin book review. That may be Monday after next, unless I can squeeze in a different day to do that.
Good shit. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for tuning in. This was the Marvel Therapy Session Thunderbolts breakdown and review. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We will see you guys when we see you. Have a great weekend and a good rest of your night. Later, guys.
Later.